Yesterday's News, written by Sam Cheever, narrated by Lisa Negrón. Chapter 1. Yesterday, 1964. Taddy Baker crouched down behind a large rock and watched the two white men argue. The big man was wearing a smooth white shirt under his suspenders and dark pants that had a crease in them, sharp as a butcher's knife. The other man was dressed far less grand, in dingy pants with uneven cuffs and a yellowed shirt that was smudged with something dark. He seemed to be getting the worst of the arguing. The little guy just stood his ground while the other man poked a thick finger in his scrawny chest over and over, and he didn't punch back. Taddy would have. In his opinion, there was nothing worse than somebody poking that bone. Taddy knew from experience. He had brothers. Taddy was too far away to hear what the men were arguing about. The big man had his face close to the other guy's and was talking real low. Taddy could just hear the rumble of his deep voice as he gave the other guy what for. Taddy had seen the men before downtown. They worked in the red brick building on Main Street and had something to do with telling stories. Least, that's what Taddy's mom told him. Taddy always thought it would be a fine way to earn your supper, telling stories. He got lots of practice doing that every day when his mama asked him where he'd been when he was supposed to be doing his chores. Taddy figured someday he'd wear a smooth white shirt and fancy pants and tell stories to earn his keep. In the meantime, he wanted to know what the two men was doing out in the middle of nowhere, and he really wanted to know what those big stacks of paper was. The small man had unloaded them from a dented pickup truck and dumped them in the middle of the mayor's field. Taddy knew he shouldn't be there. His instructions was to just leave the jar of peaches with Mayor Bethesda's maid, Wilma, and get on back home, fast as ever. But Taddy had a natural curiosity, and when he spotted the truck and the two men, he just had to hunker down and check it out. Mama always told him his nosiness was going to land him right in the devil's lap someday. But Taddy liked to think he had a nose for trouble. He of a certain created enough of it himself. That's why Taddy knew them men was doing something bad out there. So he crouched behind that rock and watched. A few minutes later, the big man gave the little guy a final poke and turned away. He headed toward the truck and stopped, turning to call out, "And make sure it all burns, or we'll both be out of a job tomorrow." Taddy's eyes widened. They was gonna burn the stacks of paper.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?